Welcome back, everybody. We're diving deep today into adaptations.
Ooh, fun.
Specifically, the Netflix series One Day,
Okay.
based on, David Nichols' novel.
Yeah.
And we've got some excerpts here from an article comparing the series
Right.
to the 2011 film and the book.
Oh, cool.
And what's really got me thinking
What's that?
is how they portray Emma and Dexter
Oh, interesting.
across all these versions.
Yeah.
It's going to be so interesting to see how their relationship plays out in the series, especially compared to,
Right.
the film and the book.
Yeah, you've hit on something really interesting right off the bat.
Oh, yeah.
I think what makes One Day so compelling is, Nichols takes this really unconventional approach to romance
Okay.
instead of like typical milestones and things.
Yeah.
He gives us these snapshots of Emma and Dexter's lives
Okay.
on the same day every year for 2 decades.
Wow.
So you get these glimpses, and then in your mind, you're filling in the blanks of the other 364 days.
It's like a puzzle.
It is. What do you think?
Have I ever?
Yeah, have you encountered a story told this way?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's very unique.
It's such a unique way to tell a love story.
Mm-hmm.
It makes the viewer an active participant.
Right.
You're piecing together their relationship.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the series really has an advantage over the film, wouldn't you say?
Totally.
With 14 half-hour episodes,
Oh, wow.
it has so much more space
Right.
to explore those in-between moments.
Absolutely. The series dives into the nuances of
Yeah.
Emma and Dexter's lives, their individual journeys, which the film just didn't have time for.
Right.
In the early episodes, we meet them,
Okay.
fresh out of university in 1988.
Okay.
Emma is this diligent student striving for something more.
Okay.
And Dexter is,
Yeah.
the charming party boy.
Right.
But even early on, the series tries to show
Yeah.
a different side to Dexter.
Beyond just that, stereotypical posh boy image.
Okay, so we're not just getting a rehash of
No.
the same old Dexter we saw in the film.
Right.
I'm curious, what did you pick up on in this series that gave us a new perspective on him?
Well, there are these small moments that reveal his vulnerability,
Okay.
almost like cracks in his armor.
Interesting.
You see him on the verge of tears at the train station
Oh, wow.
after an argument with his father.
Oh.
And then there's that phone message.
Hmm.
He leaves for Emma,
Okay.
practically begging her to pick up.
Oh, wow.
Makes you realize his carefree facade
Right.
is just that, a facade.
Yeah.
He's masking deeper insecurities and struggles.
It's like those moments when you realize someone you thought was so confident and in control is actually struggling.
Totally.
It makes you see them in a whole new light.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the series seems to be deliberately challenging our assumptions about who Dexter is.
Speaking of which, Leo Woodall,
Yeah.
who plays Dexter,
Mm-hmm.
actually spoke about exploring
Okay.
the character's deep depths and real lows.
Wow.
It's not just about having fun for Dexter.
Right.
He's battling these coping mechanisms.
Oh, okay.
The drinking, the drugs,
Yeah.
almost like he's just trying to stay afloat.
It's interesting how even a character who might initially seem unsympathetic
Right.
can become relatable.
Yeah,
When you see those hidden vulnerabilities,
totally.
it makes you wonder how much his upbringing and his family's expectations
Right.
played into those struggles.
No, that's a great point.
Yeah.
It's almost like Dexter's trapped between who he's expected to be and who he really is.
Right.
But let's not forget about Emma.
Oh, of course not.
In many ways, she's the more relatable character.
Yeah.
She's the underdog, striving for success
Right.
and facing challenges that resonate with so many of us.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole Taylor, the screenwriter,
Okay.
even said she connected with Emma's journey,
Oh, wow.
finding her footing in London as a writer.
It's like we're seeing a bit of Taylor's own experiences reflected in Emma's story.
Right.
I'm really interested to hear more about how the series delves into Emma's character.
Sure.
What stood out to you?
Well, one of the most striking aspects is the casting of Ambika Maud.
Right.
A woman of color as Emma.
Yeah.
Maud spoke about how this amplifies
Okay.
Emma's relatable qualities and shines a light on the unique challenges faced by women of color.
Of course.
We see Emma's initial lack of confidence and how societal pressures contribute to that feeling, especially for someone like her.
Casting Maud as Emma is such a brilliant move.
It is.
It adds a whole new dimension to the story.
Definitely.
Makes Emma's journey even more resonant. Makes me wonder how the series will explore the power dynamics between them, especially given Dexter's privilege and Emma's struggles.
That's a key element that really sets the series apart.
Okay.
We're not just getting a surface-level romance.
Right.
We're seeing how their relationship is shaped by societal forces and personal journeys.
Okay, so we've established that the series really takes the time to explore both Dexter and Emma as individuals. But what about their relationship? How does that dynamic unfold in the series compared to the book or the film?
Okay, let's get into that.
Yeah.
Welcome back to our deep dive into One Day.
So we left off talking about how the series really delves deeper into their individual journeys, especially compared to the film. I'm eager to hear more about how the relationship unfolds over time, especially with those added layers of societal and personal challenges.
So what's so fascinating is how those early choices and experiences really ripple outward, shaping who they become. Like, think about Dexter for a moment.
Okay.
He starts off as this carefree, almost reckless young man.
Right.
But as we journey through the years, we see him facing setbacks, disappointments, even tragedies.
Right.
He grapples with addiction.
Wow.
Professional failures, the weight of his family's expectations.
It's almost like life knocks him down a few pegs.
Yeah.
And forces him to confront some hard truths.
Exactly.
About himself.
Makes you wonder, is this the same Dexter we saw at the beginning?
Yeah.
Who seems so sure of himself?
It's a stark contrast to Emma's trajectory.
That's true.
It's almost like their paths are mirror images of each other.
Interesting.
Dexter starts high and falls.
Right.
While Emma starts low and rises.
That's a brilliant observation.
Thanks.
It speaks to the complexity of their dynamic and how they influence each other.
Right.
Even when they're not directly in each other's lives.
Okay.
So you have Emma, who begins as this
somewhat insecure, self-doubting individual, but she's driven, passionate, and determined to make something of herself.
She was a go-getter.
She is.
Yeah.
And we see her slowly gain confidence.
Right.
Find her voice as a writer and achieve professional success.
It's a journey that resonates deeply with so many viewers.
It does.
Especially those who've faced their own challenges and setbacks.
Absolutely.
It makes you root for her even more, knowing the hurdles she's had to overcome, both personally and professionally.
Right.
It's interesting to see how they both grapple with expectations. Dexter with his family's legacy.
Right.
And Emma with societal norms for women and writers, especially as a woman of color.
Of course.
But this brings us to a crucial question.
Okay.
Does seeing this different side to Dexter, this vulnerable, struggling side, change how we view his actions and choices, even those that might have hurt Emma in the past? That's the million-dollar question.
It is.
And it's something that Nichols intentionally leaves for the reader and now the viewer to wrestle with.
It's a tough one.
It is.
On one hand, you can empathize with where Dexter is coming from, the pressures he's facing, the demons he's battling. You see those glimpses of vulnerability, and it's hard not to feel for him.
But on the other hand, empathy doesn't excuse harmful behavior.
Right.
We can't forget the pain and frustration that Emma experiences as she navigates his often unpredictable and at times selfish actions.
It's this delicate balance
is
that the series captures so well, leaving us pondering whether understanding equals forgiveness.
You're constantly going back and forth
Both
between feeling for Dexter and wanting to shake him for hurting Emma.
It's true.
Like Nichols is challenging us to confront our own biases and judgments.
Exactly.
It makes One Day more than just a love story.
Right.
It becomes a commentary on human nature.
Yeah.
The complexities of relationships and the gray areas of morality.
This complexity is something that resonates deeply with viewers.
It does.
Especially those who have experienced similar dynamics in their own relationships.
Absolutely.
I mean, who hasn't known a Dexter or an Emma in their own life?
Exactly.
We all have those relationships that have shaped us for better or for worse.
That's what makes this story so enduring.
It is.
It taps into those fundamental human experiences. Love, loss, friendship, and the passage of time.
Speaking of time,
oh yeah,
we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
we have.
We've uncovered so much about Dexter and Emma,
Right.
their individual journeys,
Yeah.
and how their paths intertwine over the years.
Over the years.
But there's one key element we haven't fully explored yet.
What's that?
The impact of societal pressures.
Okay.
On their relationship.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it, it's clear that their choices aren't made in a vacuum.
Right.
There's this whole web of societal expectations and norms influencing their trajectories, especially when it comes to class, gender, and ambition.
Let's get into that.
So we were just talking about those societal pressures and how they impact Dexter and Emma's choices.
Right, like their relationship is playing out against this backdrop of expectations and norms.
It's true. One Day really doesn't shy away.
It doesn't.
From exploring how those forces impact their trajectories.
No, it doesn't.
Let's start with Dexter.
Okay.
He comes from this wealthy family.
Right.
There's this unspoken expectation that he'll follow a certain path.
Yes.
Prestigious career, stable family life.
All of that.
The whole 9 yards.
Right.
Yep.
But the series makes us question,
right.
Does that align with who Dexter really is?
That's a great question.
It is.
It's like he's carrying the weight of his family's legacy on his shoulders.
Totally.
Do you think that's why he struggles so much with finding his own identity?
I think it definitely plays a role.
Okay.
Throughout the series, we see him grapple with this pressure to conform.
Right.
To live up to his family's expectations.
Okay.
Even if it means suppressing parts of himself.
Like he's hiding
a part of himself.
Those scenes between Dexter and his father are so revealing.
They are intense.
They are.
You can just feel that tension, the weight of those expectations bearing down on him.
But Emma faces her own set of societal pressures, too.
She does.
She's ambitious,
right,
driven, wants to make her mark as a writer.
Yeah.
But the world doesn't exactly roll out the red carpet for her.
It does.
Remember those early episodes?
Where she's trying to break into the literary world.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a level playing field.
No.
Especially for a woman in that time period.
Right.
She encounters obstacles and biases that Dexter simply doesn't have to deal with.
And then you add the layer of being a woman of color.
Right.
Which Mbika Maude portrays so powerfully.
He does.
In the series.
Maude talked about how society can make women of color feel small.
Right.
Invisible.
Yeah.
Even pushing them to downplay their ambitions.
Wow.
It adds a whole other dimension to Emma's struggles.
It does.
And makes her successes even more meaningful.
It's inspiring to see how she refuses to be defined by those limitations. But despite all these external pressures, what always struck me about Emma and Dexter is that enduring connection.
Right.
Even when they're miles apart, living completely different lives. There's this undeniable pull between them.
Yeah, have you ever had a relationship like that?
Oh, yeah.
Where even distance couldn't sever the bond.
I think so many people have.
It speaks to the profound impact they have on each other. They serve as mirrors.
Interesting.
Reflecting back both the best and worst versions of themselves.
Wow.
They challenge each other.
Yeah.
Push each other to grow.
Right.
And ultimately help each other become the people they're meant to be.
They bring out the best in each other.
Yeah.
Even when they're driving each other crazy.
And it's that complexity.
It is.
That push and pull.
Yeah.
That keeps us invested in their story.
Right. Even when they make choices that leave us shaking our heads.
It's a testament to David Nichols' skill.
It is.
As a writer, that he's created characters who are so flawed, so human, that we can't help but root for them.
Yeah.
Even when they mess up royally.
It's their flaws that make them relatable.
They do.
Yeah.
They make mistakes. They hurt each other.
Right.
They stumble along the way.
It's real.
It is.
Yeah.
But they keep trying. They keep learning. That's what makes their journey so compelling.
One Day reminds us that relationships are messy.
They are.
And complicated. But also incredibly powerful.
Yes.
They can shape us. Challenge us.
Right.
And ultimately help us discover who we are.
All said.
As we wrap up this deep dive.
Okay.
I think we've uncovered so much about One Day, from the unique storytelling approach to the nuances of character development and the impact of societal pressures.
Absolutely.
We've seen how the Netflix series breathes new life into Emma and Dexter's story.
It does.
Giving us a deeper understanding of their individual journeys and the complexities of their relationship.
It's been a fascinating exploration.
It has.
I hope our listeners feel like they've gained a new perspective on this beloved story and are inspired to check out the series.
Yes.
If they haven't already.
One Day is a story that stays with you.
It does.
Long after you've finished watching or reading it.
It makes you think.
Yeah.
It makes you feel.
And it leaves us with questions that linger long after the credits have rolled.
That's what great storytelling is all about.
It is.
So to our listeners,
yes,
keep exploring.
Keep questioning.
And keep those intellectual gears turning.
Until next time.
Happy deep diving.
Happy deep diving, everyone.